Hi, welcome everyone to another video. My name is Denis and today I want to show you a wildcard draft for Game Week 7 of Fantasy Premier League. But now, let's just get into it. Okay, so guys, today I'm going to show you a wildcard draft for Game Week 7 of Fantasy Premier League. But before starting the video, before talking about each position, I want to just say that for the record, I don't think that it is the best week to wildcard. Now, again, it is team dependent really. If you have players like Rogers, Konsa, Watkins, maybe you just give them one more game week against Burnley at home. But if your team is looking really bad overall, or you just don't want to lose more team value, then it is a fine week to wildcard. I don't think that this wildcard in Game Week 7 is going to be that different from a wildcard 6 wildcard, so that's maybe why I'm questioning maybe a little bit why you didn't just use your wildcard in Game Week 6. But yeah, maybe you have favorite reasons. Maybe you use your triple captain on Erling Haaland, and for that reason I congratulate you. So again, for Game Week 7, this is a little bit of a different wildcard. Don't worry too much, guys. I'm going to change it a little bit. So again, let's start with Arsenal, because Arsenal are going to have a great run of fixtures from Game Week 7. Again, it is the best probably time to buy Arsenal players. West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Sunderland, Spurs and Chelsea after that. Not great. Again, if I was wildcarding in Game Week 7, probably I would go for double Arsenal defense still. But if you want to go a little bit different, you could go for this formation, Gabriel, Saka and Gyökeres. Again, maybe you don't want to go for Gyökeres, that's fine. Maybe you don't want to go for Bukayo Saka, that's fine. If I was to pick right now just one of them, I would probably still pick Gyökeres because of maybe some concern, maybe some doubts about Saka's fitness in Game Week 7. We don't know if he's going to be fit to play 90 minutes against West Ham at home, but again, they still have some Champions League games to play, so we need to see what's going to happen. Also, here I have Bowen. Again, there are other options in attack, and probably Game Week 7 is not the best week to buy Bowen, but I just think that he's going to be a decent option, a really nice differential at 7.7 millions. It's not great that he's playing Arsenal, so probably I would bench him in Game Week 7 anyway. After that, a really nice run. Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, Burnley, Bournemouth, and then Liverpool in Game Week 13. Bowen is slightly going under the radar, to be honest with you. Again, if you don't want to go for Bowen because of his fixture this game week, I think that Strand Larsen probably is your next best bet, with a really nice little run here. Brighton, Sunderland, Burnley, Fulham, really good fixtures for Strand Larsen. Now, obviously, we know that Wolverhampton are really bad, but he's a 6.4 million striker on penalties, and yeah, probably his fitness is better at the moment, so he's going to get decent minutes. Now, let's talk a little bit about the defense. In defense, probably I would still go kind of the same as I was in Game Week 6. Maybe I would not go for any Spurs defender at the moment, because the fixtures are just going to get worse and worse by each game week. So that's why I would just go Senesi 100% on any wildcard, Richards and Anderson. But again, if you want to go a little bit different, you have some other options. If you want to go for Tarkovsky still, again, I don't really understand the hype. I talked before Game Week 6 about this topic. I didn't really understand why a lot of people were going for Tarkovsky. For an example, I think that Senesi is a better pick and cheaper. Now, I'm not just saying that because Tarkovsky got a yellow card, he didn't keep a clean sheet, and he didn't get defensive contributions. I just think that in general, the fixtures for Everton are really bad in the coming weeks, and I just don't see a lot of clean sheets for Everton. So yeah, I would go Senesi, Richards and Anderson probably. These are my three favorite defenders, to be honest with you, in the game at the moment. Cheap defenders, Gabriel definitely would be here. And again, with your 4 million defender, we just pick Alderete, Rodon, Gudmundsson, Mukiele. But again, Alderete, he was my pick in Game Week 6. So yeah, he's decent, and Sunderland are a decent team also this season. In midfield, I would go for Ismail Assar now in Game Week 7. This is a nice little advantage. If you're wildcarding in Game Week 7, probably nobody picked Assar in Game Week 6, and I just think that he's one of the best cheap midfielders in the game. The fixtures are not amazing. Everton, Bournemouth, Arsenal until Game Week 10, so let's be honest, the fixtures are not screaming a lot of goals for Ismail Assar, but again, he's really consistent. He scored against Liverpool, obviously, and after that, the fixtures are going to be great. And yeah, Minte, again, a little bit of a differential. You don't really need to go there. If we look, let's just take a look at some other picks. If you're talking about defenders, if you want to go for a defender from Liverpool, I would go Virgil van Dijk, but again, the fixtures are just not amazing. Chelsea, Manchester United, it really depends also what you're missing. If you're going to buy another expensive defender alongside Gabriel, I just don't see a lot of clean sheets from Liverpool, Chelsea, even Man United, Aston Villa, Manchester City. The fixtures are not great short term, let's be honest. You could go for someone like Guardiola if you want from Manchester City. You could go for Lacroix, you could go for Munoz if you have the money for that. But other than that, I would not go for Van de Ven. I would not go for Tarkovsky because just look here, the fixtures. Now, again, Crystal Palace at home, it's okay, right? Although I think that Crystal Palace have a really good chance of scoring against Everton, let's say it's decent. Then it's Manchester City, Spurs, Sunderland and Fulham, again, okay. Then Manchester United, Newcastle. The fixtures are a little bit mixed. He's 5.5 millions. Again, if you want to go for him, probably he's going to get a lot of defensive contributions this season. I agree. Although he didn't get in those defensive contributions in Game Week 6, I think that he's going to be probably the best defender in the game for that. So he's a fine option. Other than that, I would not go for Diakite instead of Senesi. I would not go for Pedro Porro. Again, you don't really have other really amazing options. If we move to midfielders, let's just see here. Obviously, on this draft, you're missing Bruno Fernandes. Again, if you want to go for him, I think that's still viable. And in goal here, you have Pope. Again, probably if I was wildcarding, I would still like the double up with Ryan Gabriel because I don't want to go for Timber, I don't want to go for Calafiori, and I don't want to go for Saliba, and that would be the only two really decent defenders I would be really trustful of starting every gaming for Arsenal. So probably I would go something like that. But Pope again, he could be a nice little differential, a little bit, and Newcastle were decent also defensively, but yeah, if I would go probably with my picks, it would be something like that. Again, Bruno Fernandes, I understand if you don't want to go for him on a wildcard, definitely. That's why I put it there. Bukayo Saka, Foden could be one instead of Bruno Fernandes. He's looking like he's getting decent minutes. Again, if you're open to taking some risk, probably Foden is not going to play 90 minutes every gaming for Manchester City since he is a Manchester City player. But you already know that if you have Foden into your team. So yeah, he's not for everyone. He's a little bit of a differential. The fixtures are decent for Manchester City, so I don't mind him. I'm not sure I would go for Mbeumo or Cunha at the moment. I don't know. Manchester United were really bad against Brentford, and they didn't really create a lot of chances. So again, maybe when the fixtures are going to be better for them, could be nice. If Mbeumo is going to be on penalties, then yeah, probably is going to be the best option for Manchester United. But right now, again, it's Sunderland. Obviously, if you have them, just keep them. But I would not be in a rush to buy them. Anyway, Unjae is still okay if you want to go for him. He's safer obviously than Minte for minutes, I think, but yeah, Minte, it is a really nice little differential with 2.1% ownership. Wolverhampton, Newcastle, Man United, Leeds, Palace, Brentford, Nottingham Forest. The fixtures are not bad, but they are not amazing also. So again, if you want to go a little bit different, Minte at 5.9 millions could be a really nice option. And yeah, if you still want to go for a player from Spurs, I would go Kudus, I think. And also Enzo Fernandez could be an option. Again, if Palmer is going to be back, he's not going to be on penalties, he's not going to play as a number 10 for Chelsea. Until that, he's great. And even after, he is going to chip with some assists, with some goals, we know that. So yeah, he could be also a different option. If you want to go for someone different than Reinders as your cheap midfielder, again, the same options. Anderson, Caicedo, someone like Paqueta is still okay. Probably you don't want to go for any player from Aston Villa. So yeah, if you want to go for a defensive contribution monster, you could go for Chaka. If you want to take a little bit of a punt, you could go for Anthony from Burnley, who got a lot of attacking returns in the start of the season. So yeah, pretty much this is what I would do with the Wildcard Game Week 7. I would go with Raya Gabriel Gyökeres personally. João Pedro, I didn't talk about him. Again, I would go for him if you don't want to take a risk, if you don't need that money instead of Strand Larsen. Bone, I still think that João Pedro is a nice option. Now, the fixture in Game Week 7 is not great against Liverpool, but after that, the fixtures are going to be better for Chelsea. and he's getting good minutes. So obviously I'm not expecting him to, he's not that prolific goal scorer. I mean, he's not scoring, he's not going to score hat-trick after hat-trick, but playing as a number 9 for Chelsea and also getting good minutes, he's still a good option if you want to go there. So yeah, I forgot to sell that. Obviously, if you had him from the beginning, probably just going to keep João Pedro, right? So yeah, what I would go, Senesi, Richards, Anderson. In defense, Gabriel Raya, still Gyökeres. Again, if you prefer Saka, that's perfectly fine. I would go for Haaland, then going for Mohamed Salah for sure. I would go for Semenyo. I would go for Sar. After that, you have some options to pick. Njae, Enzo, and other midfielders to pick from. So yeah, pretty much this is how I would go. Maybe if you want to have a Newcastle defender, someone like Burn, someone like Pope, Dubravka would be my second pick goalkeeper. So yeah, pretty much this is how a wildcard Game Week 7 would look like if I would activate the chip. Please let me know in the comments down below what would you change, and also if you're wildcarding Game Week 7, please let me know how is your team looking. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching this long, it really means a lot. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye.